Thank you all so much for joining me in today's video. We will be going over how to create a beautiful glam bridal makeup look. I'm starting off by prepping the skin with the MAC Cosmetics Prep and Prime Natural Radiance. And I'm using a synthetic fiber brush to apply that all over the skin. Next, I'm going in with the Marc Jacobs Dew Drops in Dew You with that same brush. And I'm placing this on the high planes of her face to help highlight and bring these features forward. This will also give her a beautiful luminescent glow. My model here is also my sister, and she has oily skin. So as her oils come throughout the day, it will accentuate this beautiful highlight. With that same brush, I'm going in with MAC Cosmetics Studio Finish Concealer in Pure Orange and NW45, and I'm using that combination to color correct hyperpigmentation or any areas of darkness or acne scarring. This will ensure that her foundation is flawless, that it is even, and it will also just add to the beautiful application that we're going to do today. I used this color combination because I didn't want her foundation to turn too orange. So when you mix in a skin colored concealer with the corrector, it gives you a beautiful finish. I'm taking that color corrector and NW45 underneath her eye. She does have allergies, and so a lot of times her eyes are puffy. So she rubs her eyes a lot. So we're just going to color correct underneath her eye with that color corrector. As you can see, I'm taking my time and placing the product on the skin. Now I'm setting all of that work with the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder in Medium Deep. And I'm using a Beauty Blender sponge to really press that into the skin so that it gives a skin-like finish. Now I'm using a MAC 159 brush, and I'm placing the Givenchy Teint Couture Everwear Foundation in the shades P400 and Y400. I mixed these two shades to customize her skin complexion, and again, I am placing the product on her skin because I want to give her a beautiful full coverage look. But by placing it, I'm able to really mesh it in well with her skin. By putting a light layer of loose powder underneath the liquid foundation, as her oils come through, the powder will soak up that oil to give her a longer lasting effect. Now I'm highlighting underneath her eyes using the MAC Cosmetics Studio Finish Concealer in the shade NC45. I really like these cream concealers because they are emollient, but they also give high coverage and a beautiful finish on the skin. I'm using a Real Techniques brush, and I'm placing that on the high planes of her face, her forehead, and also underneath her eye. And I'm really taking my time to sculpt the face and again lay the product down to provide high coverage but still look natural and beautiful. She is getting married in 2021, so this is also kind of like a mini bridal trial for her, if you will. I will be gifting her her makeup application, so then she's able to see what kind of look that she wants. So we will be trying some new looks in the future. Stay tuned for those videos. I think we're going to do something a little more dramatic in the next look. I really like this shade because it gives a subtle highlight. It's very natural. If you want to go brighter, you totally can, but I wanted to start with something very soft because it is a bridal look. and we want her to look red carpet ready. We want her to look timeless, and we want her to be able to look back on her photos and really say, you know what, I was beautiful on my wedding day. I'm pressing that into the skin using the same beauty blender I used for the translucent powder. And I'm really pressing that into the skin so that it melts into her skin. I'm using the butt of the beauty blender to blend that line of demarcation. And I'm using the point of the beauty blender to blend underneath her eye. Next, I'm using a MAC natural fiber brush, and I'm contouring her skin using the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in the shade Cool Earth. Again, I am placing the product and tapping it into her skin to give that coverage and to also not disturb all of the makeup and foundation and powder and concealer that we placed before. Using this technique will give you the most coverage and most color out of all of your makeup products. If you want something a little more sheer and natural, I would suggest using circular motions. But for this look, and because it's bridal, we want her makeup to last all day. And so we're going in and we are placing the product. This is a subtle contour, just like her highlight shade. It's very subtle. This is going to give her a nice, beautiful dimension to her face without it looking overdone. Now I am lightly setting underneath her eye with the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. And I'm using a MAC 217 brush for this step. With my sister's eye shape and with her having puffy eyes, her eyes are more prominent. And so with her eye shape, you have to be very careful about how much product you're putting underneath the eye, or else it is going to crease without a doubt. So I wanted to use a fluffy brush to lightly put that powder underneath the eye. But now you see I've switched my tools. I'm going in with the beauty blender to do a light bake in the high planes of her face. So underneath her cheekbone, her forehead, and nose. This will help to set that Givenchy foundation that we used. Now for her brows, I'm going in with the MAC Cosmetics Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC45, and I'm using a MAC 242 brush, which is a synthetic brush, and I'm sculpting her brows first. I'm using this to sculpt, but also to highlight. And I like to do this step first before I fill in the brow because it gives a more natural feathered look. This has been a trick that has helped me tremendously in making sure that my brows are natural while still ensuring that they are clean and crisp. Now I'm going in with that MAC 217 brush to blend out the edges. And as you can see, my hand is very far back on the brush. I'm tapping, I'm swirling, and I'm really taking my time to blend in that concealer. Now to shape the brows, I'm using the MAC Cosmetics Brow Pencil in Lingering and Stud. I wanted to use two shades to create a little bit more dimension in her brow. Her brows are already full and bushy, so a little goes a long way. As you can see, I'm using light, short strokes to create hair-like finishes. And I'm aiming for the space where there isn't any hair in the brow. You definitely want to take your time for this step because the brows are the most crucial step in the makeup application. They frame the face and they really make or break a makeup look. As you can see, I've already completed one eye off camera, but I'm using the Juvia's Place Nubian 2 palette in the shade Kenya, and this brush is an Anastasia Beverly Hills brush from the Norvina palette. I believe this is the brush in all of her eyeshadow palettes, and I'm tapping that color on the outer corner of the eye. This look is very soft and natural, so I didn't want to use a lot of dark colors. I really wanted to keep the look bright and natural and soft. This is a great starting point for your makeup for a ceremony. If you want to intensify the look for your reception, you can totally add a bolder lip color. You can even add a wing eyeliner at the end. I'm taking that same shade with the stiffer side of the brush, and I'm concentrating that on her upper lash line. Now I'm going in with the same palette, and I'm using the shade Zuri, and I'm using a MAC 239 brush, which is a goat hair brush, and I'm slowly and gently packing that color on her eyelid. Now I'm using the MAC Cosmetics Dazzle Shadow Liquid in Beam Time. This is going to give her a beautiful sparkle and highlight to her eyelid. Going back in with that blending brush to just blend out the edges, because we want these colors to diffuse together and also diffuse up to her brow bone. And I'm just taking my time to go back and forth between the two shades to make sure that they are beautifully blended without losing the color. Now I'm taking the MAC Cosmetics Studio Fix Powder in the shade NC47, and I'm using the MAC 109 brush just to dust off the translucent powder, but also to give her a little bit of color back to her skin. I don't want her to look ashy or gray, especially for her wedding and for photography and film. We definitely have to add color back, but this will also help to further set the makeup that we used and allow her makeup to last all day. As you can see, I applied her lashes off camera. This step, I'm using the CoverGirl Queen Collection in the shade Ebony to bronze her skin, but also to set the contour that we used. And this is a big fluffy face brush. I think it's the MAC 129 brush. And I selected this fluffy brush because I wanted something that was big, light, and airy. Now I'm going in and applying blush. This is the MAC Cosmetics blush in the shade Raisin and Sweet as Cocoa. I really love to mix colors to provide a custom look for my client. And it just really elevates the look and help create a very unique makeup look. I'm applying the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter from the Warm palette, and I'm using a fluffy brush to apply that to concentrate that on the high cheekbones. For the lips, I decided to go with the soft color, but I'm deciding to line her lips with the LA Girl eyebrow pencil in the shade Brown. And I'm taking my time to sculpt her lip. I like using eyeliners for lip liners, and sometimes I like to use lip liners for eyeliners. Off camera, we also apply mascara and a little bit of that Kenya eyeshadow on her lower lash line. Now I'm going in with the synthetic brush and applying the MAC Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Faux. This is a satin lipstick. It will transfer slightly, so if you want something that's more long wearing for your ceremony so that your lipstick doesn't transfer to your future spouse, I will suggest a matte texture, preferably a liquid matte, because those are very, very long wearing and pretty much non-transferable. This is a cool tone pink. I would say it's more of a blue tone pink with a little bit of brown, and I wanted to warm it up a little bit, so I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in the shade Gilded, and I'm using that to apply all over her lips to help accentuate her fullness. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.